specialized in maxillofacial plastic surgery in Russia at the time, you had to have double degree, medical and dental. The region is too difficult, and a lot of innovation and a lot of anatomical difficulties that require this double degree.
That's great. So it's like you have to know the whole body in order to know a piece of it.
Yes.
So that's what you are doing in the arts. It's like you have golden hands, how you can see the original face of the human being and also add more beauty to that beauty. That's what we need now. Plastic surgery is all over the Arab world. They all look alike. But with your art, it's like the story of Leonardo da Vinci. He made Christ and Judas in the same man. This is what you are doing, like sharpening a pencil. And that's the truth is in the woods, in the pencil. And then you touched it. And whoever taught you this, that's the story of every being now. We have to find our inner power and be who we are. And that's what you are doing with all these degrees that you have. Now, what are you doing?
Well, in the United States, I had to go through New York University Dental School, and I finally was able to open my practice in New York. But as soon as I got my degree, I got very ill. I developed cancer of the blood. And I ended up at Sloan Kettering Institution in New York, where they flatly told me that I would be dead within months. And I was in love. And the idea that I would not be around the person of my attention was unacceptable. So, having her picture with me, I called a oncologist in West Germany, whose relative I was operating on a few years back. And that oncologist's name was Hans Nieper. He was very famous. And I was praying that he liked what I did to his relative, because he was the one who brought this girl to Moscow for the surgery. And I explained who I was, and I explained to him the condition and prognosis of Sloan Kettering. And he plainly said that he doesn't have a license in New York, and if I will make my way to Hanover, he will help me. So I made my way to Hanover. And he examined me and said, you know, my dear colleague, I cannot help you unless you're willing to go to my dentist. And I couldn't move at the time. I was in a wheelchair and I couldn't really go anywhere. So his nurses wheeled me to a very old dentist 3 blocks away. He took a panoramic x-ray of my teeth, came back, and said, my dear colleague, I have to remove 11 of your teeth now, otherwise you are dead. I said, please take them, I'm already dead. And I was, literally, I was very, very close to being dead. I was like a terminal AIDS patient. And at the time, AIDS didn't even have a name. I had a very, very devastating leukemia that reduced my weight to 70 pounds. And my skin was dark brown, and my eyes were orange. And I was dying. So he removed my teeth, and I was in a private hospital of Dr. Hans Nieper for 6 months. And I recovered. My skin became my normal color, and my eyes became white again, and I gained weight. And Dr. Hans Nieper told me that I don't have leukemia anymore and I can go home. So I went home, and my landlord was suing me for non-payment of rent. And my telephone was cut off and electricity disconnected. It took me a month or so to put my life together. And I forgot that dentist, along with that physician, saved my life. And I called him up and I said, "Why did you remove my teeth?" And he said, he was a very old friend at the time, he said, "My dear colleague, I hear anger in your voice. Come back for a week." And I explained. So I flew back to Hanover, and he started explaining, and I ended up spending 13 months with him. I was living in his house, and he was teaching. He was teaching me everything that I know today. He was teaching me more than 2 dental schools and 1 medical. And basically that's what I'm practicing now.
So you are a very special, unique dentist. My father was a dentist, and by birthright he knew the little that you know. And he always used to tell, it's not here, it's in the body. But we know now about Hulda Clark, you know, many books are in the Middle East, in the Arab world, Truth, but Hulda Clark, but she was not a dentist, a scientist. Now, what's the difference? She always tells us, you know, I have a new idea, I did a mistake, and something new is coming in. So what's the difference? You and Hulda Clark also taking off all the teeth, whoever has cancer or not, just take all the metals in your body.
What's the difference?
Yes, you have your uniqueness, your difference from all the other dentists.
Well, I'm very limited in the materials that I use. I'm fortunate enough to have people who come to me from all over the world. And because of that, it gives me an additional responsibility. I cannot produce a work that will expire in a year or 2. I literally guarantee my work for a lifetime. And having this type of restrictions on myself, I'm also restricted to materials that I can use to provide my patients with long-lasting restorations, lifelong-lasting restorations. And I honestly cannot produce them if I will not use gold. So the only material that I am using in my practice is porcelain and gold. Those 2 materials don't have an expiration date.
That's what my father used to do. And if you come to the other world, one day you are welcome. You will see all the Bedouins, you know, mainly in Saudi Arabia, in Kuwait, all these Bedouin people, the communes, they have gold. They don't use other things.
Because this lasts. And because it doesn't affect our immune system.
Yes, silver, you know, it's in Islamic religion, our birthright, that don't use silver, use gold, even for your body or whatever. And so you know it now, why?
So that's how I'm limited. I'm limited to doing only what will last a lifetime.
And you know, there are limitations from all this, what I call them, like mafia. We are all having these restrictions, don't say the truth. Every Christ will be crucified, every prophet will be stoned. Every one who tells the truth, you are in danger. But in the Arab world now, no danger for telling the truth, because it's our birthright, it's in our Quran, the Bible, Mother Earth, everything. We have this 32, you know, beautiful jewels and diamonds here connected with the 32 and all the body and every being. So do you have that freedom? I think in Russia we do. I know Ivanov and his wife.